Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. It's been a while since I've made a video just to kind of make a video. I don't know. There's not much to really talk about. We're kind of at this point in the season where we kind of know what our fate is, and really just kind of waiting for March Madness to get over and for the NBA draft to happen. And you know, the playoffs are coming. It's a long ways away. There's not really a whole hell of a lot to talk about when it comes to the Indiana Pacers, so kind of just making a video because I wanted to make a video. And I'm making this video mostly just because you know, I don't do this much anymore, but I feel like it's due. And that's like, you know, I don't say it on this channel, but I appreciate every single one of you who come and watch my videos and comment, and even the people who don't agree with the shit that I say. You know, it's fun for me to just go back and forth with people. Like, I don't know why, I just enjoy it. It's fun. I like listening to people's opinions and whether they agree with it or not. But you know, YouTube is really, I didn't expect it to really become this, but in the last year, YouTube has become kind of like my escape, if that makes any sense. You know, whenever obviously I can make videos whenever I want, but there have been times where I just need to get my mind off something, and I'll make a YouTube video just to get my mind off it, right? Because the last 8 months of my life have been absolute hell. I'm not going to go into super depth about it, but like, you know, I got arrested multiple times. Somebody that I had given literally my fucking all to decided that I just wasn't the one. Granted, I fucked up, they fucked up, and at this point, what they have done to me is significantly worse than whatever I did to them. And, you know, I don't talk much about my personal life on this channel, but the past 8 months have been fucking terrible. I mean, I lost my job. I lost a friend that I cared a lot about. I still have health issues, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I lost my health insurance when I lost my job. Right now, I'm not even employed right now. Like, luckily, I've had enough money saved up since, like, when did I stop working? December. It was like end of December. And it's March. You know, luckily you know, my bills aren't super crazy, but you know, I find myself now in this position where I'm literally trying to rebuild my life from the ground up. And some days have just been a lot harder than others. You know, like I started going to therapy to try to figure all this shit out. And I've learned a lot in the process. I'm not gonna lie, like it's been a learning experience. But YouTube has been, I'm not gonna lie, YouTube has had moments where that little dinky fucking check that comes through, that, you know, whatever, maybe $100 whenever it pays out, there have been times where it has really, really saved my ass, you know. And it feels so weird saying that like, you know, I'm able to pay my bills and everything, but there have been moments where, like, an unexpected bill comes, especially with medical bills, dude. I mean, you guys want to see some shit? This is medical bills. So, for anybody wondering, okay? And, it's just been such a wild, crazy experience that I just didn't think I'd ever be going through. You know, I find myself trying to, like, balance my medical appointments and my bills, and I'm not here going woe is me, you know what I'm saying, because I fucked up. Okay, like I'm gonna admit it. You know, part of being an adult is admitting when you fuck up and taking accountability for your actions and all this other stuff, right? But YouTube has just been like the one thing that like I can always do that I don't know, takes me away from, you know, reality, I guess, a little bit for however long, you know, 10, 15 minutes a day. Sometimes I'll do multiple takes, and before you know it, I've spent an hour, 2 hours trying to make a video, right? And just get every point right, or like, you know, say the things I want to say. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I make a video, right, and I'll upload it, and I don't do it much anymore because I prep a little better before I make videos now, but it used to be sometimes I'd make a video and I would like forget a point that I thought was important, and I'd just delete the video and remake it and then re-upload it, you know, because, you know, part of doing this is always wanting to nail the topic on the head, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this 2026 has not been a good year to me since it happened. And I don't know, man. Like, I have a lot of regrets about the past 8 months, but I have to live with them, right? Part of being a man is admitting when you're wrong, and being an adult is admitting when you're wrong, and just moving on, you know, moving on from things, even if you don't really want to, you know? That's been probably the hardest part of the whole thing, is accepting reality for what it is, you know? But I don't tell you guys this enough, but I thank each and every single one of you who watch my videos, who support me. Some of you guys have more faith in me some days than I do in myself. And not that, like, I'm depressed or anything, but it's just the idea, like, YouTube is always... I don't know, I've had this dream since I was in high school that, like, being a YouTuber was, like, my destiny, if that makes any sense. You know, like, I don't think you guys know, I've had a bunch of YouTube channels, a lot of them. This is the second biggest one I've ever had. The first one was actually years ago when I was playing Call of Duty and NBA 2K on the same channel, and doing tip videos and stuff like that, and that worked out really well, actually. I got over 3,500 subscribers back in high school, and I just didn't stick with it, you know? My parents wanted me to get a real job. They didn't think YouTube was something that you could make money at, and honestly, at the time, I wasn't really making a whole lot. Back then, YouTube was a completely different landscape. You know, YouTube back then, it was like, in order to be partnered, you had to get a network to partner you, and I don't know if you guys remember Full Screen or not. There was like Machinima, Yoush Network. There was a bunch of them, right? Mystery Gamers. I was a part of MRE TV, and then I became a Full Screen partner. Full Screen actually bought out a company that I was partnered with, and I became a Full Screen partner, and the first $1,200 I'd ever made came from YouTube. And I don't know, it's just crazy to see how much it's changed since then. Now it's like anybody can be a YouTube partner, even if the barrier to entry is like fucking crazy now. Like, it used to be, even back then it was strict. I mean, I think they've gotten a little more lax now, but back when back in 2011, 2012, like, to be partnered on YouTube, you really had to, like, be doing something right, you know? And I think that's part of the reason why I always thought this was, like, a path for me, you know? I'm not perfect, you know? I'm kind of unhinged sometimes. I try to make people laugh. I don't try to make people laugh as much as I used to, and I feel like that's part of the reason, like, people came to my channel in the first place. And if I honestly pursued that more often, my channel would probably be even bigger, because I think I'm pretty good at making people laugh. But it's always been like just something that I do on the side that I just, I don't know, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, one day this is going to be everything I want it to be, And that's part of the reason I don't give up on it. There's been times where I have, I've had multiple channels that I've started and just given up on just because I didn't want to stick it out. I didn't want to continue doing it. And I think if you're somebody who's going to do YouTube and you want it to be your job, it's something you have to be incredibly dedicated to, My last job, I worked in a school district, and everybody knew I was the IT guy, right? Everybody knew that, and even the kids knew that. They knew I was the IT guy that could play basketball. None of them knew I had a YouTube channel based around basketball, but they knew that I was pretty good at it, right? And while obviously I would never tell any of these kids that I had a YouTube channel, every single kid that I had spoken to, for the most part, wanted to be an influencer in some way, shape, or form, right? They wanted to be a YouTuber. They wanted to be a TikToker. They wanted to be an Instagram model or some shit like that. And the one thing I would always tell all of these kids that I would talk to, I'm like, listen, I'm not telling you to pursue another career. Always pursue your dreams, but don't make being an influencer the main thing. Okay, don't it can be your main thing, but it has to be your secondary thing, right? Like, you have to have some type of skill that you can offer the world in the time that it takes for you to grow whatever you want to be, right? Because the sad part is, a lot of times in life, what we really want to be is something that we can't be immediately, right? Like, no matter what, like, you want to be a professional basketball player, well, you got to play a modified, you got to play junior varsity, you got to play varsity, you got to hopefully get into a Division I school for being a basketball player. And then from there, you got to play well enough to get into the NBA draft, to get an agent, right? So there's a process to it all. And YouTube is the same way. You gotta put in the work if you really want to be as big as you imagine, or if you want it to be your job. And I haven't taken this anywhere near as seriously as I could. But part of the reason I don't is because I feel like the less, it's going to sound weird, but I feel like the less professional it is, the more authentic it is. And there's been, people who've told me that that's why they watch my channel. I curse. I do all things you really shouldn't on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? My backdrop is literally my fucking bed with a hole in the wall, which one day I will explain that hole in the wall. And some of you will probably laugh your ass off when I tell you about it, because that hole in the wall is from when I had a PlayStation. And I don't know, I'll tell you guys about that story maybe one day. But that hole in the wall is not from a girl, or, it's, if I explained it, you would all understand why, probably. Like, it's a reminder of why I don't play NBA 2K My Team anymore. Let's just put it that way. I was in high school when that happened. But, it's just the idea, man, sometimes the things you want in life don't happen right away. Sometimes it takes time. You have to dedicate yourself to it and really be passionate about it. And that's the thing too. It's you can be passionate about something, but if you're not making any money at it, you really have to try to find something else and to make money in the time while you're pursuing your dream. And that's my thing with YouTube, I guess. It's I'm passionate about it. I enjoy I just enjoy talking about basketball. I know you guys pretty much watch my channel for the Indiana Pacers and stuff like that. But really, the main reason, I make these videos because I enjoy basketball. I enjoy basketball as a whole. I enjoy the whole sport. I don't just enjoy the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? Cooper Flag to me is I feel like I'm watching LeBron James 2.0 when LeBron James came to the league. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly think the future of the NBA is in such a good place. I know there's people who are oh, well, defense doesn't get played anymore, and, the league is just spamming 3-point shots, and you're not wrong. You're not. But I look at the future of the league and I'm just like, this is the league is in good hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird because I think we all have this thing with the NBA, right? Where we're just like, we think that like as soon as LeBron retires, it's over. And, you know, I felt that way, you know, like when Kobe passed away, right? Like it felt like a part of me had died, right? And it's crazy because, like, you grow up watching these people like Dwayne Wade and Vince Carter and Kobe Bryant and Tracy McGrady and Tim Duncan, right? Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. It's like all the stars that I grew up watching, Dirk Nowitzki, all these guys that I grew up watching no longer play. Like Chris Paul recently retired. You know what I'm saying? And now we're getting to this point where, like, LeBron is likely going to retire soon. Steph Curry is getting up there in age. Damian Lillard is even, like, kind of iffy at this point. We're starting to see the decline in some of the guys that we saw in the 2010s. You know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson is not what he used to be. And I look at the league now, and I'm like, Victor Wembanyama, Cooper Flagg, all right, SGA, Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum is still got a long ways to go. Anthony Edwards, right? I look at this and I just think to myself, like, this is fucking, like, the future of the NBA is like in such good hands, and I'm happy that it is, right? I'm happy that draft prospects are, you know, I feel like it's, I don't want to say it's rare that we see a number 1 overall pick bust anymore, but it feels a lot more and more like players are becoming less and less of busts as time goes on. You know, even Giannis, this year, Giannis has been injured all the time. I drafted Giannis on my fantasy team, and I feel like he hasn't played really at all for me, you know? But, I don't know, I'm kind of going on a tangent, but, like, I don't know, man. You know what? Just when life kicks you in the balls, just make sure you stand back up. That's all I'm saying. And I don't know if YouTube will ever be what I expect it to be or want it to be. I really have to, like, change a bunch of things. And the thing is, though, like, with YouTube, I just realized that, like, it has to be worth what I'm putting into it and getting out of it, right? Like, I used to make Call of Duty videos, and I used to spend, like, 2 hours making a Call of Duty video and upload it, and it would get, like, 15 views. And I started to realize that, like, what I'm getting out of YouTube, or whatever I was going to get out of YouTube, had to be worth what I was putting into it. And I started to realize that, like, you know, the amount of time that I was putting into making those videos was not worth what I was getting out of YouTube at the time. And video games kind of suck anymore, if I'm being honest with you. I rarely play them anymore. You know, I don't even really use my Xbox anymore since they got rid of the movies and TV feature where you could purchase movies off of the Microsoft store, which I don't know what the fuck happened there, but that was a big L on Microsoft's point, because now I kind of want to buy a PlayStation because I heard on PlayStation you can still buy movies, but I don't know, man. You know what? At the end of the day, just do what makes you happy, and sometimes life hits you with a lesson every once in a while. And like I said, the past 8 months have not been great. I've been through hell the last 8 months. But I understand that at the end of this, there's got to be some silver lining at some point, right? Like, it can't be bad forever, you know? So, it just is one of those things, man, where you just got to keep your head up, keep your nose to the grindstone, and go after the things you want in life. You know, I'm a pretty good investor. A lot of you don't know this, but when it comes to investing in stocks and stuff, like, I tend to know my shit. And I'm not even certified or anything. I just figured out what the fuck works. I don't day trade, though. I'm not a day trader. I know a lot of people be like, oh, what cryptocurrency are you buying? Or what stock are you day trading? I don't fucking do that. Okay, I'm a swing trader. And what I mean by a swing trader is I buy a company that I think is undervalued. I buy a bunch of it, and then I hold that trade for maybe anywhere from 4, 5, 6 months. And I'll hold it. and I don't let it burn a hole in my pocket. Once it gets to a point where I feel like it's time to take some profit, I'll sell it. Like, I bought UPS not long ago at, like, I forget what I bought it. I bought it relatively cheap, and it went up to $80, and I sold it. I didn't buy a lot of it, but, like, that's what I do. There's strategy to everything for the most part, and it's really just a matter of figuring it out. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you guys think down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.